What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going over all my motorcycles, what's wrong with them, well what they are, what's wrong with them, and what I need to do to get them all running again. And it's a heck of a journey, so welcome aboard, let's go. Alright guys, well we'll start with this one right here, this Ariel Square 4. This has a leak on the bottom, has a leak on the side, I think somewhere over there in that chain case, and then I also need to go through the gearbox on it because it keeps hopping out of gear. And so that's what this one needs. This is my 1951 Ariel Square 4. It's a pretty bike. There will be videos coming on this shortly because I'm anxious to ride it again. So I got to get this fixed. All right, next off is this BSA Rocket 3. I think this is a 1969 BSA Rocket 3. This bike is something I've accidentally purchased last year. As you can see, it needs a lot of work. It hasn't ran in many a year. The first thing I have to do is try to figure out, see how to get a title for it and make sure everything's fine on that before I start sinking money into this, getting it running. I've never seen one this blue color before, so if anybody has any information on this, if this is a factory color or not, please let me know. And also there's something I noticed, I didn't notice before, but until I got the bike in here, the frame and the forks are all this really dark blue color. I don't know if that's factory or not. Somebody comment and let me know. It's a cool bike. It needs a lot of attention. That's going to be a project for another day. But I thought it was cool and I got such a good deal, I could not say no to getting this. The inside of this tank is actually quite well. There's a little bit of light surface rust in there, but it's not bad. It's very good. All right, here is old Trusty here. Old Trusty. As you can see, it does have a little bit of an oil leak on it. I think that's leaking from the filter. I've got a new filter, new crush washer, all that kind of stuff. It's time to do an oil change on this. Oil change, lube up the chain, but this thing has been completely reliable. It's a 2018 Triumph Thruxton R, has a different seat on it, as you can see right there, different tail light, but it's working quite well. Actually went for a ride on this earlier today. All right, next off here is my BSA. It's an A65. I believe the forks are Triumph forks. A friend of mine actually built this. It has the tank and seat combo like a Triumph Hurricane, X75 Hurricane, so they call the X65 here. This is a cool bike. I need to go through the carburetors on it, then the tank is actually fiberglass. Ethanol is eating through that, so I need to repair the tank, and then this will be good. I've actually ridden it on a dummy tank. It's kind of fun. Okay, this is my 2006 Honda Sierra 450R that I turned into a little flat tracker. This is a monster. I did a different cam, valve springs, high compression piston. It needs a clutch on it, and I think I need to check the timing on it. I've got all that apart. Shouldn't be too bad of a job. I should be able to knock that out in a couple of hours. All right, this is my 1977 BMW R100S. I kind of turned into a cafe racer many years ago. I just kind of need to go through the bike. This left-hand carburetor needs to be rebuilt. I need to go through the brakes, the front and the rear. The front brakes on this bike the master cylinder is under the tank. It's some sort of metal and it's corroded. I've rebuilt it once and the seals just don't hold up because the metal is so corroded on it. So I'm going to go to a handlebar reservoir on this. It won't take me too much to get this back up and going. It's a fun bike. I did these clip-ons on it. Different triple tree, gas cap, of course the fairing. But I'd like to one day eventually strip it all the way down and just vapor blast the engine and everything, get everything completely sorted. All right, moving on. This is my, I think it's the 81 Honda CBX. So this bike I bought last year, knowing it needed a lot of work, and yes, it still needs more work. I just moved and had a baby and all that kind of fun stuff, so I haven't had much time. I've got a taller windscreen on this. I think I'm going to turn this into more of a sport tourer bike, because I don't really have any bikes that will do that duty. So here I've gone through the carburetors on it. I've put some new air filters on it, new Delcovic exhaust. I've got a video of me firing this up and running it. It sounds really, really good. It needs tires. I've got new tires. The brakes need to be gone through. I think I have everything I need to go through the brakes. Let's see what else. It needs a side stand on it. And the gas tank had a pinhole leak in it. I took it to get it repaired, and they said the metal was too thin to weld it. So I've got a replacement tank for that one. It doesn't, it's a completely different color, but that's fine. Then who knows what else it needs after, you know, tires, brakes, carburetors I need to sync as well. I think I'm not happy with the way they're sitting in there. I did new rubber boots as well, but I don't think they're sealing properly, so I need to adjust those, get the carburetors synced up, and then get this going. But this will be a very fun touring bike, I think. Right, over here is, well, what's left of my first bike that I ever owned. It's a 71 Honda CB450. That's what it started out as. It's been neglected for many, many years. I ran it lean and blew the engine up multiple times, and it's just kind of sitting here until I decide what to do with it, pretty much. Those handlebars I put on just for moving, because it makes it easier to move around when you can steer the bike. So that's going to be a project, I don't know, probably a few years down the line. Okay, here is the bike I've been restoring on the channel. This is my 1969 Norton Commando Fastback. This has been a cool bike. It started out pretty good, and well, I came across a lot of stuff a previous owner, I don't know who did, but I just wasn't happy with, and then I just got really upset one day and just pulled the bike all the way down to the frame, and then I've since been restoring it and kind of modifying it a little bit, as you can see as well. I've got different Z plates there, we've got clip-ons, so therefore I had to change the headlight ears, all that kind of fun stuff as well. But I think it's going to turn out to be a nice bike. There is the engine. I will be disassembling that soon, and then we will be putting it into the vapor blaster there, and also freshening it up with new bearings, seals, all that kind of fun stuff as well. And also on this bike, I am going to repaint it. In 69, well, when I bought it, it was black and had Norton on it in gold, which I think looks quite well, but that wasn't an option in 1969. That color didn't exist. And I kind of have a soft spot for the green tank, green back, and then the silver on the side panels here, and the oil tank. So that's why I'm going to repaint it as that color. I think it'll turn out beautifully. It's turned out quite well so far. It's a bit of a looker, I think. All right, and then let's see what else we got over here. Sorry for my mess. I'm still moving in here and adjusting things. So this is a, I think it's a 1980, well, it says right there, 1980 Honda CX500. I bought it wrecked for like 80 bucks or something like that. Stupid cheap. The forks were all twisted on it. The front wheel was messed up. So I put some Gixxer, I think 750 front end on it. And then I was going to do a monoshock on it. And I took a bunch of stuff to get powder coated a couple years ago, and they just didn't do anything that I asked them to do. Nothing was done. The parts were still exact position I left them in after like a month or two. So I took the parts back, and then I was just frustrated, disheartened, and I haven't really touched this since. And I think it's about time to pick this back up in a little bit. Put the monoshock on it, get everything back together, probably do what the CX guys call the triple bypass, kind of bulletproof the engine, and then just turn this into a fun little cafe racer style bike, and just it'd probably be fun just to flick around here, honestly, in the mountains where I live. And then over here, so this doesn't look like much. This is a frame for a Norton P1. So the frame, the oil tank, which is very hard to find, the triples, which are kind of hard to find as well. I've got some more parts over here on this shelf, the chain case, the barrels, oil tank, gas tank, tail light, and the exhaust over here. I have more parts elsewhere for this. So this is going to be probably the build I'll do next after I finish the Commando build. It's another thing I have to look into getting a title for. The title for this, well, the number on this is actually like a Norton Commando frame number, but that can't be right because this is definitely not a Commando frame. It's a P11 frame. I reached out to the Norton Owners Club. They didn't really have any information on it. They think it's probably been re-stamped is what they think. So this is going to be another heck of a project, but that's going to be sometime after the Commando's done. I'm not sure, it might be directly after, or maybe we'll squeeze in the Rocket 3 before that. I don't know. So we're going to get to that eventually. All right, well, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Also go to motohomeless.com, get yourself a t-shirt, hoodie, long sleeve shirt, something like that. Tell your friends, I don't know. Yeah, whatever. Have a good day.